I didn't think I'd ever find this place. I looked and I looked. But every time I drive into the city, I get lost. I tried to call and ask for directions, but you weren't in the book.
Unlisted.
Well, you weren't in the book. Anyway, I stopped and asked the guy for directions, but he didn't understand me. I wish I knew Spanish. So I parked the car somewhere and got a cab. The driver got me here. Oh, I thought I'd die.
But you got here.
Finally. Oh, Kathy, you look good. You really do.
So do you.
Oh, I do not. I look the same.
Well, would you like some champagne?
Oh, dear. I don't know if I should. If I get drunk this afternoon, I'll never find my way back to the car. Wherever it is. I have to pick up the kids by 4 and drive back to the country and fix dinner before Ted gets home. I guess you better give me tea. Ted sends his love.
How sweet.
1 teaspoon.
I meant... Oh, spirit.
I love tea parties.
So, how are the kids?
Oh, they're big, but they grow up right before your eyes. Little Kathy always asks about her big Aunt Kathy.
Oh, I hope to see her soon.
You know you can come into the country anytime. It's an open invitation. We just asked and asked for you to come by, but you never did. So it's an open invitation.
I'll come soon.
And last year's Christmas card came back address unknown. I got so worried. I'm glad you got in touch. Finally. We wondered where you were.
Oh, well, I've moved a lot.
Well, you should put your name on that buzzer out front. If I had the apartment number, I wouldn't have known where you lived. Maybe the postman doesn't realize.
I must do that.
Anyway, you must come for the 4th of July. Ted and little Kathy want you to. And you've never seen Ted Jr. or little Mary.
God, it has been a long time.
Ted Jr.'s 3 and little Mary's 1 now.
And little Kathy must be 5, 1 every 2 years.
I've got 1 more to go and that's all. We want 4. 2 and 2. So I've got 1 boy to go.
Well, are you working on it?
Only 3 more months and it'll be time to start again. Do you know I've spent over 1/3 of my married life pregnant?
Well, at least you've had 2/3 of your time for other things.
What other things?
It's Mary.
Oh, wait, Kathy, I can't wait. Don't walk so fast, I'll get lost.
Oh, you won't get lost.
I'll be damned. I'll be double dog damned.
This is too much. Just look at you.
You look terrific.
It's the outfit. I never have the nerve.
It's pretty.
Pretty expensive, I'll bet. Wherever did you pick that up?
Nana
Nana?
of Soho.
Oh, ho. Well, I wouldn't know about that. You know me, Mrs. Peck and Peck.
Well, let's sit down. Let's all sit.
Kathy, I'm sorry I'm late. I
Oh,
had
don't worry, I was late too.
Good. Anyways, I had to run up to Sinatra for a once-over.
What's an entree?
They do my hair, dear.
You just had your hair done?
Well, I was late as usual. Missed the appointment. I threw a fit. They threw a fit. The world of beauty waits for no one. So there I was, zipped through Bendel's. Something caught my eye. Tried it on.
And you bought it.
Yes, I bought it. It's a Chloe. Do you like Chloe?
I don't know what to say.
Oh, just pick up a Vogue. They'll tell you what to say. So there I was, already late, but Rizzoli had been trying for ages to give me that huge irrité book in Italian. Since I was on 52nd Street, I ran in.
You read Italian?
Of course not.
What good is a book in Italian if you can't read it?
It's pretty. A pretty book.
Oh.
So here I am now with all these silly bundles. What am I going to do with them? I'm headed straight from here to a cocktail bash for Bella.
Maybe she won't mind if you bring your bundles.
Busy, busy. Oh, Kathy, this is cute.
What's cute?
A garden apartment? Cute.
We have a big garden at our house, but in the city, gardens must be hard to come by.
Honey, everyone and his damn dog want a freaking garden apartment.
Kathy, can I switch to champagne?
Sure. Mary?
martini on the rocks with a twist.
We have tea or champagne.
Of course. For a moment there, I forgot I wasn't in a bar. Why, yes, this is a tea party. Well, I'll have champagne.
Oh, this is good. Kathy, is this domestic or imported?
Domestic. Mary, sit down.
Oh, this is just so good. I have tried and tried to make pate and I can't. It's so hard.
Oh, well, it's bought.
Of course it's bought. We city girls don't have time to whip up pate.
Well, it's good. If I would have known you could have bought it like this, I would have never tried to make it. Yum!
So, how have you girls been?
Fine and dandy.
Just fine.
Good.
And you?
Just dandy.
Do you still have your little art shop?
Gallery.
Gallery. Well, how's the little gallery?
Big. You both should see it. I've doubled my space in the last 2 years.
Then you're doing well.
You should see it.
Ted and I got a couple invitations to go see our shows, but he's busy all the time and I never get in. He comes into the office, but I never get in.
How is Teddy?
Fine. For a while I was so worried. He wanted to go back to school. He was going to drop his corporate and go into criminal law. Oh, boy, I was relieved when he didn't. I hated the thought of him being around convicts all the time.
I guess you sleep better now.
Well, with the house and the kids, there isn't much time for sleep. I'm just always on the run. We have a huge old house that we've done from top to bottom. I wish you could see it. We did our own decorating. Me, a decorator.
I'll bet it's as cute as a bug's ear.
Oh, it is. 6 bedrooms. 1 for us, 1 for the guests, and 4 for the kids.
I thought you had 3.
How did you know that? Last time I saw you, I only had 1.5.
Kathy told me.
I did? Well, I haven't spoken
Sure
to you
you
since.
did.
Well, we have 3 now, but we're going to have another boy.
Oh, how stupid of me.
More champagne?
I thought you'd never ask.
Just a tiny drop. Oh, Kathy, this is so nice. Leave it to you to finally arrange some way of getting us all together. After over 3 years.
3 years.
Well, 3 since I've seen Kathy, and 4 since I've seen you last.
4 years.
Can you believe it? 10 years since high school. Senior 64. 6 since college.
My God, time flies.
I'd given up hope. Funny, I didn't think we'd be able to go a day without each other. I didn't think you'd ever come back from Europe, and Kathy eventually just dropped out of sight. And now here we are. I knew we'd all end up in the same place. It took years, but here we are. Me with a home and a family. Mary with a gallery. And Kathy with a garden apartment.
What have you been up to, Kathy? Besides getting this garden into shape.
Not much, Mary.
Oh, you can't fool me. I'll bet you're still queen of the hop.
Or Queen of the May.
Or football queen.
I just never thought we'd all be in New York.
You live in Connecticut.
Well, yes, but I'm close. I almost live in New York. And you two do. Did you ever think when we were girls we'd all be sitting in this garden apartment in New York?
It never crossed my mind.
Of course, I'm in Connecticut because Ted's work is in New York. Kathy, why did you decide to move here?
Oh, just drifted this way.
Isn't that funny? I'll bet it's because you're single. New York must be wonderful for single girls. Isn't that right, Mary?
It's an absolute haven for adventurous girls.
Do you still hear from any of the Kappas? Oh, I feel awful. You know, I was so good about going to alumni meetings until Ted transferred to Columbia. And then Ted Jr. came along, and I didn't have a minute to get re-involved. New part of the country, new kids. Do you still keep up?
Not really.
Well, I feel awful, but I swear I just don't have the time. I still get the Kappa newsletter, and it just sits there until I finally throw it away.
I don't
come back from Europe. You're with that guy. What was his name? Ted and I really liked him.
What was his name?
Oh, you know. Alfredo. Ricardo. It ended with an O.
Alonzo.
Whatever happened to him?
I give up.
I thought you might have married him or something.
Just the something.
Well, who do you see now?
What?
Who do you date? Are you engaged? In love? What? I'm trying to find out what's happened to us. You all never even phoned me.
She means, what's the dirt, Mary?
The dirt. Well, the dirt is Mary shacked up with Alonzo for a while,
Then what?
then made out with dozens of others for a few years.
Nice men?
Mostly men.
Oh.
And now, Mary's doing it with the best in a long line of budding artists.
Well, I hope it works out.
Who works out?
The way you want it.
Well, he's blonde and beautiful and 20. And that's just the way I want it.
Oh my God. And he does stuff for your gallery?
That's right. I exhibit him.
What does he do?
Erotic arts.
What?
He does porn and neon.
For heaven's sakes, Kathy, can I have more champagne? It was this. It looks like tuna fish. I love tuna.
It's crab.
I like crab better. Last time I had people over, I served a crab dip. Did you make that?
Not on your life.
Oh, it's not hard. Don't be afraid. You just take a package of Philadelphia cream cheese and a package of frozen crab meat and whip it up with some sour cream. It's a snap.
Sounds snappy.
Of course, I admire all those people who can do things from scratch, but there isn't much time for that. Of course, I have help, but time is of the essence.
The essence.
Do you two have help?
I'm pretty independent.
I'm simply helpless.
Kathy, you would do your own housework, but surely you have a gardener.
Well, no. It is a tiny garden.
So it is. Well, you keep this place neat as a pin. You should see our house. Toys and junk all over the creation. My lawn looks like a jungle. But then, our place is huge. Ted and I wish we could entertain more. I bet you throw a lot of parties, Kathy.
Well, what makes you say that?
You were always so good at entertaining. We would have never had a single party if it hadn't been for you. You planned them all.
You know, Kathy, I'm surprised. This is so simple. No tea party theme, no giant chicken wire teacup.
I could never organize a tea party. Kathy, it's lovely.
Kathy, I don't know why I haven't thought of this before. I should exhibit you in my gallery.
Well, I don't know anything about erotic art.
Don't feel bad, me neither.
With your talent, I could build a whole show around you. Erotic visions and Kleenex.
Mary, would you stop? All right, you've gotten great mileage out of my chicken wire and Kleenex. Always have. Now drop it.
I really am sorry.
Let's just forget it.
I guess I just don't seem to know when to stop, do I?
The boys used to say that about you.
Let's just relax and talk.
Oh, I am relaxed. I'm letting my hair down for the first time in years.
My dear, your hair.
Mary,
Kathy, do you teach close by?
no.
Well, if you did, then you could walk to work. Did you think of something funny?
I don't teach anymore.
But why? I thought you liked to teach.
Got tired of it.
I tell ya, I get so tired of working.
My God, you work?
I'm a homemaker, and that's a big job. And guess what? You are going to die. I direct the junior choir at church. I work for Jesus. I finally found a way to use my music.
I could die.
Isn't that funny, Kathy?
Yes.
So what do you do now? I just can't believe you stopped teaching.
I'm not
What an awful thing to say. How can you loathe children?
Because they hated me?
Well, I hated some of my teachers too. But I needed them. What would pupils do without their teachers?
I don't know. All I do know is those girls didn't need me to teach them anything about playing games or sex education. They all knew more than I did.
Oh, to be young again.
28. Can you believe it? There were going to be 29, then 30. I want no more birthday parties.
Joanne, no more cakes with ballerinas on top. No more horns and funny hats. How could you bear it?
Not for me. For my children, but not for me.
What about you, Kathy? Any festive plans for your 30th? Any desire to turn this garden into over the rainbow? Sorry.
That was so pretty. I could cry. It seems like only yesterday.
It's been 10 years.
Wouldn't it be fun to go back?
Fun?
To simply be girls again. We all first met when we were brownies. Kathy, I bet you think a lot about when you were growing up, don't you?
God, it was a simple time.
And then we went from brownies into Girl Scouts, into high school, and college, and we grew up.
Simples.
What?
I said we grew
She
up.
said we grew up simples.
Wasn't it wonderful?
She didn't get it, Kathy.
Did you?
Oh, how I like to be silly and act dopey. I hate having to be grown up and mature.
Mature? You?
Well, you were always more mature than us. Or should I say progressive?
Say whichever you like.
I think mature is the word. Only a mature person can go all the way to Europe like you did.
No mature person would have done what I did in Europe.
I don't care what you did. What I'm saying is it took a lot of nerve to go all that way by yourself alone.
What makes you think I was alone?
Because we weren't with you.
You've never been, have you?
To Europe? Me? What would I do in Europe? I get lost.
Well, that's exactly what I did.
You got lost?
Oh, yes. I became the perfect lost person. Slept my way from Rome to Amsterdam. Became sort of a naughty nomad.
That's not what I meant about getting lost.
I hated my parents for making me come home. I guess I never dreamed a graduation trip would last 2 years. They cut off my funds and my fun.
2 years is enough time to be away. I'll bet you were homesick.
Homesick? I've never been homesick. When I came back, I thought I'd teach them a lesson. I was chic. I had style. I was spouting French and smoking hash. I was a cross between Sally Bowles and Sheena, Queen of the Jungle.
Were your parents shocked? Heaven knows I'd be.
My father said something like how nice it is to have his little girl home. And Mother said she'd send me straight to her hairdresser. Welcome home. I never felt so much hate. I had spent 2 years of my life trying to change, and no one noticed. They still thought of me as the same stupid girl.
Were we lucky to be so stupid? Or were we just stupid?
Lucky or stupid? I choose lucky.
And then you came to New York?
Ran to New York. Called a few rich men I'd met in Europe and convinced them to set me up in a gallery. I'm still indebted to them in some way or the other.
But why did you choose to have a gallery for erotic art?
What else would an exhibitionist choose?
Your mother doesn't know.
She's been told.
Last time I was home, I ran into her. And she said that you were running a Hallmark card shop.
Oh no.
Of course I knew that wasn't true, but I didn't correct her. I thought maybe you didn't want her to know.
I really don't care one way or the other. Let her tell her friends I'm working for Hallmark. It's better than saying my daughter sells porn. I do hate, however, that those witches back home think I work for Hallmark. It's one of those great companies they look up to, like Avon or Tupperware.
I did everything right. All my perfectly organized lessons. I was sponsored for the cheerleading squad and arranged pep rallies.
Did you teach them some of our old yells?
I tried. I wanted all my girls to have the fun that we'd had in high school. For 3 years, I appeared in a gym suit and tried to teach them the value of pep. My girls weren't interested in being peppy.
So you quit?
Yeah, I mean, I felt ridiculous.
Then I'm glad you quit.
You didn't look for another job?
No,
You did nothing.
nothing but sit around this garden apartment day and night.
I can't imagine you sitting still for a second.
I learned how. I read. I made a list of all those books that I never read in college. You know, the ones I assigned but you never actually read. They're pretty good. A lot better than the Monarch notes, anyway. And I thought a lot. Silly. I don't ever remember looking up at the stars until I began to sit in this garden apartment for hours on end.
Astronomy. That's interesting.
I didn't study the stars, Joanne. I just looked at them.
What did you think about?
Death, eternity, even God. Another list. I wanted someone, some miracle to tell me what it was that I wanted.
Did you find that someone?
No.
Did you get your miracle?
No. But I prayed to the ridiculous stars as if I expected them to answer me.
And they didn't?
Joanne, no one in her right mind preys upon stars. Only noble, noble women with the keys to the kingdom of God ever wish upon stars. All the simple girls without a single cause.
Oh God, Kathy, don't get into causes. I said to hell with causes and I'd be governed lost.
You would be in politics.
I vote.
I guess you consider yourself a liberated woman? A bra burner?
I did burn a bra once.
Really? Stage the whole thing.
One night at a gallery opening, I whipped off my bra, threw it in a wastebasket, up in flames. The crowd went wild.
And that liberated you.
My God, Kathy, it was a joke. Remember jokes?
Well, you two make life sound so awful. I won't let my kids know about hate and causes and braziers. There's no need. I won't let them know.
Then they'll grow up like us.
There's nothing wrong with that. We were happy and carefree, and everyone liked us.
Did they?
We were the most popular.
Tell me, Joanne, do you remember all those girls who were unpopular?
Why should I remember them? They never did anything.
What did we do?
Everything. Pep rallies, dances, school activities. Now you face it. You would have hated not being popular.
I taught girls who hated it. The kind of girl who would sit alone at the cafeteria with a book and never had a steady boyfriend or won contests. The girls we used to joke about. High school was their punishment for not being cute and clever. And for a while, I looked at them and felt pity. Poor, unpopular girls. But then, I began to realize that I deserved a little of that pity. After all, I had started out to be the most
This
popular
all
girl.
reeks of self-pity.
Why is it wrong to be liked?
We didn't learn a damn thing other than how to be very, very popular.
Well, maybe the unpopular girls didn't learn a damn thing either.
Our silly causes didn't have an ounce of meaning.
You have no right to make me feel guilty. We were happy then, and I'm happy now.
Mary, are you happy?
I own my own business. I need no one. Erotic art may not be noble, but it bought my freedom.
And I know that's important to you, Mary.
What, dear?
To be free.
You betcha.
And now that you are, what are you going to do?
Do?
Yeah. On your tombstone, is it going to say, "Here lies Mary. She was free."
On my tombstone? Joanne, don't write me off yet. I'm very much alive.
But life is to be shared with someone who'll love and care for you. There's no no point in being alone or hopping from bed to bed. That leads nowhere. It's not too late for either one of you to find a husband. There's a lot to be said for marriage.
Like what?
Children. Precious, darling, adorable children.
I'll just let you have the children, Joanne. You could do the propagating for all of us. I'll stick with pornography. Less obscene.
I would never let my kids see pornography.
I don't sell it to kids.
I even stopped taking the National Geographic because of all the naked Africans in it.
You're poor children.
Well, they're mine. And I'll do what's best for them because they're mine.
Then my God, don't let them near a National Geographic. They just might learn something about geography.
I don't know how you can take any pride in selling filth. Ted wanted to see your shows, but I didn't want to. I'd be embarrassed.
Well, that's you, Joanne.
No decent woman would sell trash.
It's a business. If a guy's got $5 to throw away on a fantasy, he goes to a dirty bookstore. If he's got $5,000, he goes to an art gallery. He doesn't buy his suit at Klein's. He doesn't live on the West Side, and he doesn't get his kicks on 8th Avenue. He comes to me.
But when we were younger, we used to laugh at smut.
I still laugh. Yesterday, I sold a sculpture. $2,500 for a 6-foot pornographic neon sculpture.
That's silly.
Of course it's silly. I thought it was silly. The jerk who bought it thought it was silly.
Why would anyone pay $2,500 for a neon pornographic sculpture?
Because he wanted it for himself.
What would you do with it? You can't very well put it in the living room, not with children around.
We don't all have children, Joanne. Would you shut up about those damn children?
I have beautiful children. You don't know the joy of motherhood.
I know the relief of abortion.
Mary, how could you?
By choice. Telephone,
Right in a second.
Tell me that deep down inside you're just the same.
Probably, but I'd like to think, Joanne, that some things change.
Champagne. Give me champagne.
who did the painting?
The painting?
Above the fireplace.
I forget.
It's nice. The whole place is nice.
Yes, thank you.
That Chesterfield sofa looks expensive.
It's leather.
Such taste. I don't know what I would do if I had your taste.
That pre-Columbian piece is worth a fortune.
Not really.
No, really. And these glasses, waterproof?
I guess.
Thackeray.
Yes, Mary, what's your point?
Kathy, whose apartment is this?
Well, it's Kathy's, of course.
Belongs to a friend.
A lover?
A friend?
It's not yours?
No.
Oh, no.
You've got good taste. Good taste in friends.
Kathy, where do you live?
Here.
But it's not yours.
No.
I'm confused.
Yes.
Kathy's obviously not going to tell us her little story, so let's not be confused. Let's not pry.
There's nothing to tell. This is not my apartment in the sense that I own it. I don't. This is my apartment in the sense that I live here. I do.
Kept?
Negotiated.
Good deal. Is this your cause, Kathy?
I should go. I've had enough.
Why, Joanne, how rude. Did you hear that, Kathy? She's had enough of us.
I have to find my car.
What does it look like?
It's white.
Then you should have no trouble finding it.
Kathy, I wish I could say how happy I am, but this didn't turn out right. I thought we'd talk about Kappas and fun times, but we got sidetracked.
Wasn't much of a tea party, was it?
I don't know what I would do if I thought you didn't care.
Probably get drunk.
Oh, shut up! Go ahead and make fun of me. At least I won't end up old and lonely like you will.
I hope not.
I don't need erotic art for kicks.
Not with Ted around. He's pretty good in bed.
Mary!
If I believe that, I'd kill you. But since I don't, I'll ignore it. Goodbye, Kathy. And Mary, I hope you go to hell.
Tell Teddy hello for me.
I'm going home right now and changing little Mary's name.
I'll get you a cab.
Oh, Kathy, I've always loved you.
Let's go, Joanne.
Joanne, wait. Skip it. Bored into a cab?
All gone. She'll never make it to the country by herself. I told the driver just to take her by Ted's office. He can take her home from there.
He'll be thrilled.
I should call him.
Let her be a surprise.
He doesn't like her to drink. She has a problem.
How would you know that?
Ted calls me. He talks. I listen.
Well, Joanne's his problem. She's his, not yours or mine.
How long?
A year or two. He stopped by the gallery. Always comes in when he needs something erotic.
Why did you?
I guess it was the last act of sharing.
Jealousy, maybe.
Jealous? Because Joanne got her fantasy from beginning to end? Never.
You... Oh, I was once. When I moved here, I wanted marriage more than anything. But as time went on, the less it mattered. Now Joanne can have the whole fantasy come true.
She's got it.
Besides, what I've ended up with is better for me. Because for once, I didn't plan it.
I don't believe my ears. You didn't plan this.
No.
You got all this without a list.
Yes. And isn't it nice?
Do you mean to tell me that there was no highly organized plan behind this reunion?
No.
Then why the hell did you invite us here?
I thought we might have a few laughs.
Isn't it funny? Oh, nothing.
Nothing but funny.
Shall we toast our bygone days?